What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Import Modify. We're going to continue on with the Honda Prelude, and basically what I'm going to be doing is just some general maintenance stuff. It has a cracked oil pan, so I got a new oil pan, gasket, and we got to take the exhaust header off and all that to get the clearances for the pan. So I got a new exhaust gasket. I do need to get me one for the back of the exhaust, but I'll be able to find one here in town relatively quick. I know like O'Reilly's has a good selection of gaskets and stuff like that, so I'll sort that out. But I'm gonna go ahead. First thing I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna go ahead and check the condition of these spark plugs, and I don't know how old they are. I'll probably go ahead and replace them. I'm gonna go ahead and do an oil change, of course, with the oil pan as well. And I do need to make a slight adjustment on the rear coilovers just to get it to drop a little bit more so it better matches the front. And just basically get this thing caught up. I just caught up with my backlog of cars yesterday, so I do have quite a bit of work scheduled for next week, but this frees up the end of the week for me. So the Saturn is done, and then the F-150 has got to come in next week, and then I also got appointments coming in, so taking advantage of the time. So also I'm gonna start on this stuff pretty soon, guys. I'm just trying to get my life in order because it's becoming the end of school. Summer's gonna be here. Some time's gonna free up for me and everything, and I'm just kind of playing the waiting game, you know what I mean? I'm not a big YouTube channel. I can't just keep bashing out cool projects. I wish I could, believe me, I wish I could just go ham on big projects and everything like that, but it's just one of those things. So if you guys are here and enjoy my content, for what it's worth, thank you a lot. I did notice quite a bit of people unsubscribed from my channel lately, and I'm okay with that. Whatever, man. It's not like I got thousands and thousands anyway, so it's whatever, man. So if you guys are here and y'all enjoy my content, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and take these plugs out. Then after that, we'll go ahead and just start removing everything and basically knock this thing out. Alright, so the spark plugs don't look terrible. They look like they have nice even burn on them, so I don't see nothing really out of the ordinary. I don't see, you know, excessive oil or anything like that, so that's a great thing. I know the engine runs pretty good, so it's a really good engine, you know. I just got to get things figured out on this and so it can be, you know, running and driving correctly. So next thing I'm going to do now, since I got the spark plugs out, I'm just going to go ahead and remove these nuts off of the exhaust flange, and also the mounts right there, and then on the bottom as well where it meets to the mid pipe. That'll free it up. I can move it out of the way, and then there's a cross brace on the bottom as well that I need to remove too. So let's go ahead and just knock that out. Alright, I want to see if I can go ahead and fish this header out this way, because the way it looks, you might have to take this mid portion apart to separate the bottom half from the top half. But I'm just going to see if I can go ahead and hack it and pull it through. Let's go ahead and try it. Alright, I see what the problem is. These brackets for the mid mount, they're actually in the way. Right there. You see how they're shaped? It's interfering with this flange bolt right there. So I'm gonna have to take these off real quick, and then I should be able to pull it out. Alright, I got them loose and they're out of the way. Let's see that. So they're out of the way now. But the problem I'm having is it's interfering with this cross member right there, so I have no choice. I'm gonna go ahead and zip these off, separate the upper from the lower, and then it'll come out that way. Then we can go ahead and proceed to the pan. Alright, so we got everything out of the way now in order to get this pan off, and basically I just took this bracing bracket from the transmission to the engine off. That exposed all the bolts up underneath here. I took some brake cleaner to just kind of get the residue off, and makes things a lot simpler and easier and cleaner. So now it's just 10mm nuts and bolts, and we're just going to remove them. And then what I do is I take a scraper along with the flathead, and then I just kind of weasel the scraper or the flathead in between. Now there are tabs like that where you can put a flathead and use for leverage. So we'll see how well this gasket plays, because if they used RTV up on it, sometimes it takes a little bit of leverage to break it loose. But if there's no RTV, then it should work out great and it should come right off. Alright y'all, so we got the oil pan installed, and it is the next day. I gave it overnight for the RTV to dry up on it, and I did put a thin layer of RTV on both sides of the surface, because my experience with these rubber Honda gaskets is if you put them on without RTV, they will leak sooner than later. And I like to put a light layer on the bottom and the top, not heavy, just light, and I give it overnight to cure up all the way, and it will seal it 100%. Now I did clean everything up around the areas that I worked on, so if we have any future leaks, I'll be able to see exactly where it's coming from. Also, there's a hanger right here for the exhaust, and there wasn't a clamp on it. This right here is made to have a clamp on it because it's part of the mounting system for the exhaust, right? So I went ahead and did that. So this will add to the rigidity of the exhaust stain where it's supposed to be, right? So we're gonna switch gears now and we're gonna go on to the transmission. I just wanna do a drain and fill. One, because I don't know the condition of this fluid. I wanna look at it, see if I see any debris in it. And two, I'm sure it's never been done. And I have a gauge right here on this pan, and I'm just gonna drain it, see about how much is in that pan, and then I put exactly that much in. Whenever I did buy the vehicle, it was like a quart low on the transmission fluid, so doing this is gonna help it out, hopefully. It's better than not doing it, right? So I wanna take the time and do it. I do have solenoids coming in for it, and I'm just curious to see if me doing these little things will fix the problem with the transmission. But if it isn't, it's gonna be manual swapped anyway. I've been looking around and planning for that. But Prelude's coming around, man. I mean, it's coming around. Just taking care of the little things and whatnot. And honestly, customers that have been coming in have been looking at the car, and I've been getting offers on the car. And you know, I'm all about money talks, bullshit walks. So I mean, if someone comes with a good amount of money to buy it off of me, meaning I make a decent profit off of it, it may just go to one of my customers. But we'll just see, man. If not, I'm just gonna continue on with it and keep using it for content on my channel. Basically, I bought the car for filler content, actually, because it's something for me to do in between the jobs that I do here at the shop. And I like messing with Preludes. I have parts for it, so I'm just going to continue on messing with it along with other things. Like I said before, whenever I get the chance to do these other projects, I'll jump on it. But I need to get started on this 300Z, and I keep saying that, but it's going to happen relatively soon, guys. It will. The summer's coming, so it's gonna happen. And this right here, you know what I mean? It's just kind of fell upon my lap because I got a really good deal on it, and it's turning out to be a pretty nice car. So if one of my customers want to buy it and I make good money off of it, why not, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and take care of this, and then we'll move on. All right, I already loosened it up, so I'm just gonna go ahead, pull the plug, and let it drain. It looks red though, you can see right through it, so it's not terrible. So you can see the red through the light. If that was really, really bad, you wouldn't be able to see through that well. Cool. Let this drain out into the pan, look at the fluid condition, and refill it. Alright, so in the pan it looks a little dark, a little dirty, but it's not bad. It's just expected, I guess. Nothing out of the normal. Looks like we took 2 quarts out, so we'll put 2 quarts back in. Check the level, see how that works out. But we also need to fill up the oil. Alright, fluids are topped off now. Let's go ahead and crank this bad boy up and just let the fluid circulate. So what I like to do, something simple whenever, you know, changing the oil, is I'll crank it up, I'll let the engine oil prime up, let the oil filter fill up 100%, and then I'll turn it off and then let the oil settle and then top it off. So I'm letting things just warm up a little bit, letting the exhaust burn off the oil residue and the WD-40 that I sprayed on the fasteners around those areas. So I'm gonna go ahead and just lift it up. Alright, so since I just changed out the fluid in the transmission, I'm gonna go ahead and just cycle through the gears and let it, you know, work the fluid through. It's that second gear. Looks like the light is out on number 1 because it's in the gear position. See how it shifts like that in second? It only does it in second. I mean, other than that shift in the second, it almost killed a bird. It's just that shift in second that is the problem. And that was the first time me really just driving it through the gear. Let's see if I make a couple passes, if it gets any better or not, but I highly doubt it. Hey, it didn't do it. That's pretty good. All right, I'm gonna get out on the public road. Not supposed to, but the hell with it. I need to drive it. It didn't do it. Put this in the manual mode. That's a hard shift. Third's good. All right, so some headway's being made on this Honda Prelude here, and we're making steps in the right direction. It could be shifting better, but it is starting to act more normal. It's still messing up, but it did shift like it was supposed to a few good times. And it started messing up, and then started acting right, and it started messing up. So hopefully a solenoid is going to fix that problem. I'm kind of hoping that I'll luck out and it'll just be a solenoid, but we won't know until we get that part in. And I got a pretty cool tool that I bought right here, and this is actually a tire changer. And I got it because I do quite a bit of tire changes on bikes. Now, sport bikes I can get away with tire irons and stuff. I got some specialty tire irons, but because the sidewalls on sport bikes are soft. Touring bikes, there's no way. I took on a couple jobs with the tire irons, changing out touring bike tires, and they're really stiff. They're a lot harder than the sport bike tires. For that reason, I started looking at machines or tools to change out motorcycle tires, and I came across this. It's a Nomar tire changer, and I bought the adapters to work with Harley Davidson and everything, and I made sure I bought the kit that's supposed to do the touring bikes, and I tried it out for the first time on my Harley here, and I was able to change both tires out, dismount and mount, with this thing not even being anchored down. I just had my buddy holding it. But I'm gonna make a tire changing station in the back over here, and I'll be able to take care of customers' tires and everything. And I have a static balancer I use as well to balance the tires. So I've done them on my bikes, and they work great as far as the balancing and everything goes. This thing right here, once I have it mounted in the floor, it's gonna be awesome. And I can also do tires for cars as well. Not that I'm gonna do that for like customers on cars, it's mainly for bikes, but I mean, if I have to change a tire out on a car, I'm able to do so. They give you different mounting systems for doing those types of things, but this is mainly for Harleys. But it's great, man. It's great. This actually goes through right there. Yeah. All right, switching gears back to the Honda Prelude here. So yeah, it's still having problems with it bogging down whenever I'm going, trying to give it a good amount of throttle. It wants to bog down, and I started thinking about it. It's not throwing any check engine lights or anything like that. We do have H22 injectors for a known fact now, because I put some new ones in there. So it matches the ECU up, because I was thinking it was an injector difference, because there's an H23 engine in the engine bay, right? But a H23 and a H22 should be close enough in displacency that it shouldn't it shouldn't act like that when you're accelerating. So I'm led to believe that the catalytic converter is starting to clog up. That is my theory. It gives me an area to start looking at. And, you know, if I have to get another cat, I'll just get another cat. It's just the way it, partial throttle to mid throttle, it's fine. Try to go past that and give it some gas, it wants to bog down. And the other car that had a bad cat, it acted the same way. So I'm curious if that's the problem or not. But I'll check it out whenever the time comes and I do the solenoids or whatnot. So, but that's all I got on this episode, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed this content. You guys that have been sticking around and watching me and haven't unsubscribed, thank y'all very much. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Peace out.